Hey guys, what's up? It's Raven and I'm coming to you fully natural, no makeup, hair's a mess, just got out of the shower, so please excuse that. Hopefully it's not too distracting, and also hopefully my filming setup is not too distracting. I am currently filming out on my parents' back porch, and there's lots of construction going on and there's lots of people walking and wind blowing, but there's no real secluded area inside the house for me to film, and I'm just kind of out of my element today, so I didn't really have much of a choice for my filming setup. And this video is not about being cute or being perfectly set up. It's more about just me having some real talk with you guys, so I hope that it still works. And if I seem really uncomfortable and like just weird in this video, it's because I am uncomfortable. I'm like filming like to the world right now. Like I feel like the whole neighborhood can hear me and it's just really weird, but we're just gonna go with it. So this video is kind of addressing two things. Well, there's two reasons why I wanted to make this video. The first thing is that I kind of felt the need to explain my recent absence, explain the reason why I've taken this break from YouTube and why I haven't been posting videos and why I seem sad on social media and what's been going on with you, what's been happening. I've been getting so many comments and messages like, where are you? What are you doing? What's wrong? Are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. And there's just been all this speculation and questions and concern about where I've been lately, because I've just been kind of taking a step back, kind of taking a break, kind of maybe seeming a little bit upset and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to come on here and maybe explain that a little bit, but also I wanted to come on here and just have like a real talk and get personal and just make a meaningful video, not only just to explain myself, but also because like this is a topic that I think is important, and it's a topic that I care about, and it's a topic that I haven't really fully touched on my channel, that I feel like it's worth talking about. So I kind of wanted to make its own separate video all about it. I don't even know, it's hard for me to make this video because it's like so many different things that I could say and I don't even know where to start or what to say or how to say it. But basically I have been, well, I'm here at my parents' house, and I have been here at my parents' house for like several weeks now, like probably almost a month, not quite a month. I've been here for like 3 weeks or something like that, and that's part of the reason why I have not been posting videos and have not been doing my whole regular routine, is because I've been here at my parents' house. And if you guys have been keeping up with my weekly vlogs, you know that I just moved into my own, you know, nice apartment in Dallas. So it's like, why are you here in Austin in your parents' house? And it's basically because I'm kind of on a little, you could call it kind of like a rehab, a retreat, a getaway, whatever you want to call it. I needed to come here to my parents' house to basically, I needed to come here to my parents' house to basically get away from my life, get away from what was happening in my own little circle at my apartment in Dallas, stuff like that. And I needed the support of my parents, so I came here. And now you're probably wondering like, well, what happened? What happened? Why did you need support? What went wrong? And basically, I just want to give you guys a little bit of a background story. Some of you guys who have been following me for years and years and years, the ones who have been here since my Tumblr days, since I was like 14 in high school, you guys have been here that long, you may already know that I have struggled with anxiety and depression and different issues like that for a long time. If you've been here, if you've been following me that long, you might already know that. But a lot of you guys who have maybe more recently started following me, or just don't really like dive that close into my channel, you may not know that about me. But yes, I have struggled with anxiety and depression, as far as I'm concerned, all my life. And when I say anxiety and depression, I don't just mean, oh, well, sometimes I feel sad, sometimes I feel nervous, you know, whatever. It's not like that. It's actually more of a bigger deal, I guess. It's more of something that actually affects my day-to-day life. It actually affects the way that I feel like all the time. And it's something that only gets worse over time if you don't deal with it. And I did not do a very good job of dealing with it in the beginning. I didn't do a very good job of asking for help. I didn't do a very good job of seeking help, of taking in the help. I didn't do But yeah, I basically, what I was trying to say is I just didn't do a very good, I haven't been doing a very good job of dealing with it up until now. And I cannot do this. And you may be surprised to know that even though I'm saying I didn't do a very good job of dealing with it or whatever, actually I did do stuff about it. I have been to therapists, counselors. I've been to multiple therapists and counselors. I've even been to the counselor that was on my college campus when I was in college, family counselor, da 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 da. I've done things. I've recognized, okay, I have depression, I have anxiety, I need help, I need to do something about it, I need to go to a counselor. I've done little things like that, but never really like dove that deep into it, never really took it super seriously, and never really got a grip on it. And like I said, with something like this, it gets worse and worse over time when you let it have that snowball effect. So all throughout my teenage years, I definitely struggled a lot with depression and anxiety. I think it's a mix of being a teenager, you're growing, there's things changing in your life, you have hormones, you have your typical teenage problems, but having your typical teenage problems and then on top of that, struggling with depression and anxiety can be really, really dangerous and really, really bad. And I had some really, really low points as a teenager. I mean, if you guys followed my blog, there was times when I was just writing these really terrible things that were happening and how I was feeling so terrible and blah blah blah, and it was a lot of what looked like teenage angst and, oh, she's being bratty, oh, she's just being, you know, hormonal, but really it was my depression. Like, I actually had depression. And then, you know, I thought things might get better throughout college, but college is not just a magical cure. It's not just, oh, college is so great. College is great in a way, but there's lots of college comes with its own problems and comes with some bigger problems and stuff like that. So I definitely dealt a lot with my depression in college as well. I made a video like last year, it was either earlier this year or last year, when I made a video called How I Became Happy, which was kind of my way of touching on the fact that I have been struggling with depression and struggling with certain things in my life, but that in that moment I felt really happy and I felt like I had really overcame something. And the reason why I felt that way is because I had gotten out of a really, really toxic relationship. Once again, if you guys have been following me, you might know that I was in a previous relationship. It wasn't good. It was always drama and blah 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 blah. I had introduced him to you guys thinking everything was great. Everything was not great. It really took a toll on me. Like I said, just being a regular girl and just being a young college girl, if you're in a bad relationship, that's bad enough. But like I said, it's layers. It's having that, but also being depressed and anxious on top of that is what makes it 10 times worse. And so that's what I was dealing with in that relationship, and I finally got out of that relationship, and I felt so free and I felt so happy and I felt so successful because my YouTube channel was picking up, and like so many things, like so many good things were happening, that I made that video called How I Became Happy, and I was in such a good mood and I thought everything was great, and I just thought that my life was just going to be amazing from there on out. And don't get me wrong, my life is pretty amazing. So many amazing things have happened to me, especially this year. 2015 is definitely like my glow up year. So many amazing things happened to me this year, like so many. I can't even begin to explain, like the success with my YouTube channel, the trips that I've been able to go on, the brands I've been able to work with, the people that I've met, opportunities that I've had. Like, I do have a very amazing life, so to speak, but I am still depressed. And the thing with depression is that depression is a disease in a way. A lot of people can describe it as a disease. Just like some people have allergies, some people have psoriasis, some people have acne, some people have cancer, some people have issues with their heart and their blood pressure, some people have depression. It's not something that you choose to have. It's not something that you do on purpose. It's not something that is because of this or because of that. It's actually something that comes from within your body. It comes from within the chemicals in your brain. It's something that you can't control because the chemicals in your brain have an imbalance lots of the time. So it is actually a medical cause behind it that pretty much, in a sense, no matter what's going on in your life, you can have an amazing life, you can be going on trips and this and that, but at the same time the chemicals in your brain are still causing you problems, and you can still be depressed even when you have all this fun stuff happening in your life. And that describes me really well, because I know a lot of people look at me and they look at my life and all the things that I'm doing and all the things that I have, and they're like, you're so lucky, you have such an amazing life, how could you possibly be depressed? What do you mean depression? What do you mean anxiety? What do you mean blah blah blah? And they can really be judgmental about it or confused about it, but it's just not like that. I don't have that choice. It's not related. Like I said, it's an actual mental disorder, is an actual disease. It's actually based on health reasons. It's actually based on chemicals in your brain, and I can't really control that no matter what's happening in my life. That's the best way I can explain it. I mean, I know to some people it can just be really hard to believe that I've struggled with depression all my life with the type of life that I've had, but it's true. It's true. I don't know how else to really explain it. So yeah, after I had made that how I became happy video, I really thought that my life was just so awesome and it's never gonna get bad again. But it was kind of like I only really attacked one problem in my life and I didn't actually attack my depression itself. Okay, yeah, I got out of this bad relationship, but I still have depression. You know, I'm still dealing with the deep-rooted main issue is still there. So I'm thinking everything's cool when really it's not. And kind of ever since then, it's kind of like creeped back up. It's like, here comes my depression coming back. You thought everything was cool, but really it's not. And here I am again. And it's just kind of been creeping all the way through, you know, I had my college graduation this year. Big changes happened this year. Graduating college, getting my own apartment, becoming a full-time YouTuber, blase, getting in a new relationship, blase. All this stuff was happening. And one thing about me and my depression is that it's very based on stress. I've noticed that I can keep it cool. I can kind of feel normal, feel okay, as long as I'm in a pretty stress-free environment, as long as I feel in control, as long as I feel like there's not too much going on around me. I can, you know, keep it pretty cool, keep everything under wraps, you know, by myself in my own control. But when things start to get stressful, when things start to pile up, when things start to just, I feel like I'm losing control, or I feel like there's too much happening at once and this is scary and this is scary, that's when my depression just boom, like comes out, and it's like crippling, and it's like I can't function. With all these changes that have been happening recently in my life, like these past few months or so, with, you know, graduating college and moving and all this stuff, like I feel like my life just kind of exploded these past few months. It was a high stress environment, and it caused my depression to spike like crazy, and I wasn't prepared for it, and I kind of feel like it came out of nowhere, and it just knocked me down. It knocked me down so hard. And I'm not the type of person who has ever just had like a million friends and a just huge circle of friends to distract me and support me. And especially now that I'm moved away, I really don't have my friends around me that much. And this is not to say that it's like my friends' fault. I definitely wanted to put that out there, that my friends are not bad people. My friends are not doing anything wrong. I'm not blaming my friends for anything. I don't want any of my friends to watch this video and be like, oh my god, I did something wrong, oh my god, I feel so bad, Raven, oh my god, I need to say something to you, blah blah blah. Because throughout this whole time that I've been taking this break and kind of on this hiatus and kind of saying that there was something wrong but not really explaining what's wrong, my friends have definitely reached out to me. Like, people texted me, people sent me messages on Snapchat, however they could. They were saying, what's wrong, what's going on, I've seen your social media, I've seen that you said you were taking a personal break, what can I do, what's going on? And so it's not their fault, it's just that they're in other cities, they're in other states, they're not here. And I myself don't feel comfortable talking to them. I didn't feel comfortable talking to my friends at all. Like, I'm making this video right now really before I even talk to my friends about it, because I'm the type of person who is very embarrassed about my depression. I'm very embarrassed when I get in these states where I feel like my body is like shutting down, my mind is shutting down, I'm in such a deep depression. I'm embarrassed about it. I'm embarrassed that I feel that way. I'm embarrassed that I'm at my parents' house and I have to take this break and I'm not being productive and I'm not going to the events and I can't hang out and I can't do this and I can't do that because I'm in such a low state. That's embarrassing to me. So when my friends reach out to me and they're asking me, what's wrong? Talk to me, I just don't reply. I'm just like, nothing, I don't know what to say, or I just don't reply because I don't even want to talk to them about it. And I know that's really sad, and I'm grateful that they reach out to me in the first place, but that's what I'm saying, like, it's not their fault. but it's just it's a vicious cycle, because then I end up not having that support because I'm not accepting it in, and it's just like a vicious cycle of me being alone and depressed and just chilling at my parents' house doing nothing for 3 weeks. Yeah, and so I kind of wanted to get deeper into the actual story of what actually was going on these past couple of weeks, and why I've been so like mysterious, and why I've been so MIA, and why I haven't been vlogging, and why I haven't been posting videos. Specifically, like I said, it was because I was in a high stress environment, moving into my new apartment, trying to figure out these, you know, graduating with school, because I was supposed to graduate and then I failed a class and I had to take a summer class, and I finished my summer class and I thought I graduated, and then right when I think I'm getting my diploma, and I had even, like, if you remember in my weekly vlog, I had went and I asked my advisor, did my credits go through? Did I graduate? And she's like, yeah, you graduated, congrats. And I remember in my weekly vlog, I put that in there, like, yeah, I finally graduated. Well, like a week after that, I get an email from my school saying, no, actually, you're still missing a credit. You didn't graduate. Meanwhile, I'm like, what? I already moved away. Like, what am I gonna do now? I thought I graduated. I set up my whole life based on the fact that I graduated. I moved away from my school and everything, and now you're telling me that I didn't graduate. And that just like, oh, just weighed down on me so heavy. And then moving into my apartment was like such a freaking nightmare, and all the financial stress of moving in and buying all this. I spent like so many thousands. I've spent so many thousands of dollars on this apartment and the furniture and getting the Wi-Fi and all these different fees and all this different blah blah blah, and I was feeling bad because I was stressing my parents out, because my parents were the main ones who were helping me move, and it was like moving from city. It was just so much going on. Then I have my relationship, oh, if I have an argument with Chris, and oh, this and that. It's just like too much going on at once. It was too much going on at once, and it was like one day something happened and it was boom, that was the last straw. Like, that was the last straw. And I called my mom and I was like, I can't do this, I can't do this, I need some help, I don't know what's going on. And my mom is super like supportive, and has always been a concerned parent, has always been the parent that's just there when you need her, you know, whatever. You guys can kind of see a little glimpse of my mom, like in my videos and stuff. You guys know how she is. And so she came to Dallas, picked me up from my new apartment, and brought me home to Austin, and was like, look, you're gonna stay here in the comfort of our house, in the comfort of your parents, in the comfort of your family, and we're gonna get you some help, and we're gonna get this figured out, and you're just gonna stay here and chill out and just, you know, step back from your own world for a little bit, for as long as you need to, and just take a break from social media, take a break from videos, do what you need to do. And so she's kind of the one who kind of, you know, that's why I'm here right now. So I'm sitting on their porch right now, and like I said, I've been here for like what, like 3 weeks now. And so basically, whenever I first got here, I was doing bad. When I tell you I was doing bad, I was doing like the worst I've ever been. I've had panic attacks and stuff before. I've had really low points, like really spiked depression and stuff before, but this was like on a whole nother level. This was like worst panic attack ever. I'm freaking out. I'm to the point where I'm like, so, and it's something that's really hard to explain. If you don't struggle with depression, if you can't relate to this, then you're just not going to relate to this. Like, if you're watching this video and you're just lost, you're just going to be lost, because there's really no way that I can explain it to you. It's just sometimes if you struggle with depression, sometimes even when it doesn't seem like your outside stuff it doesn't seem like, oh, it's that bad, but sometimes you get so weighed down that it's literally the end of the world. It's literally to the point where you do not want to live. You do not want to be on this earth. You do not want to feel this pain anymore. You do not want to feel this depression anymore. You do not want to have these panic attacks anymore. And it gets to be too much. It gets to be so overwhelming that you feel it bubbling up inside you. You feel your body hurts. You get sick. You can't get up. Like, it's crazy. It's like a true disease. And that's where I was at, and that's where I was feeling like I don't want to live. I truly felt that way. I truly felt in that moment I don't want to live. And so my mom, she saw that. She saw how, you know, panicked I was, and she said, we're going to the hospital. We're going to the hospital. You need medical help. This is not something that you have control over. This is not a game. This is not a joke. You're going to the hospital. And so I spent 3 days in the hospital, technically on suicide watch, actually, which is no laughing matter, which is not a joke, which is not a game. But yes, I was in the hospital technically on suicide watch because I had checked in under those pretenses or whatever. And this is not me trying to get attention, trying to be dramatic, whatever. This is just truly me opening up to you guys and telling you guys, this is what happens in real life. This is what really went down. And it was a terrible experience. It was a nightmare. It was a total nightmare. Being checked, having my mom take me to the hospital. She's so worried about me that she's crying and she's concerned. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm just feeling numb at this point. And I have the things on my wrist and everything. Like, this is coming from someone who has never been to the hospital for any reason. I've never broken a bone. I've never had like pneumonia or anything like that. So this is like my first hospital experience, and I kind of hate doctors anyway. Like, it's scary. Just going to the doctor, just going to the hospital, that by itself is scary. But going to the mental, whatever it's called, section of the hospital is worse. To me, like, going to the hospital for the first time in my life and going to the mental section of the hospital was just so scary, and so like just a mixture of scary and heartbreaking and shocking. And I just didn't even, it was just, I don't even know how to explain it, you guys. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. But I was checked in, and I spent all day in the first hospital. They were trying to figure out where to transfer me, what to do, blah blah blah, until finally I was transferred to a different facility, and this facility was an overnight facility. This was an inpatient facility. That means you're checked in, you can't leave. We're keeping you here because we need to keep you here for like a week, because we need to watch you, because we need to do this and that, and you're actually checked in. This is not just a check in, check out, talk to the doctor, leave. No, this is like you're really being checked into a facility, a psychiatric, mental, behavioral facility. And yeah, this is real life. Like, this actually happened. And me telling this story right now is like, I can't even believe I'm telling this story. I can't believe that I'm like about to post this on YouTube, but this actually happened. I was checked in, and they took all my stuff, all of my dangerous stuff, all of my stuff, and put it in this bag and took it away from me and put it in a locker, whatever, checked me into the facility, got me checked into my room, and I'm looking around and I'm literally seeing psychiatric patients walking around in their with their hospital bracelets on, with their little hospital gowns on, or their little hospital pants and stuff. No shoes. Everyone has to just have socks on, no jewelry. They made me take out my nose ring, made me take out all my earrings, take off all my necklaces and stuff, because you can't have anything sharp, you can't have anything. And they checked me in, and I walk in there, and it's like a hospital, but there's like a little main area where you can kind of just hang out freely, and it was just all these like patients like in there, and you see someone in the corner like crying their eyes out, you see someone in the corner talking to themselves. It was like, I felt like I was in a movie. Like, if you've ever seen a movie where it's like a psychiatric hospital, mental hospital, and you see all the patients, it literally looked like that. Like, this is real life. It literally looked like that. And I'm just, this whole time I'm not even like saying anything. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do. They're taking all my stuff. They're putting me, they gave me a blanket and stuff like that, and they're just like, here's your room, whatever, you're gonna speak to a doctor in the morning, just try to get some sleep, whatever. And I'm like, I'm really here. I'm really in a psychiatric hospital right now. I can't, like, I'm speechless right now. I don't even know how to explain it to you guys. But so that night I had to spend the night there, and it was the worst thing ever. It was the scariest thing ever. I'm in this cold, dark hospital room without my stuff, with couldn't have my phone or anything, no electronics, no nothing. All my belongings are taken away. I'm in this cold room by myself. I don't know these people. I don't know these patients are just here around me, and I have to leave my door. You're not allowed to close your door, so I have to leave my door open, and I'm just trying to like get some sleep, and all I hear throughout the hallway is just all this commotion. Some big commotion happened where one of the patients went crazy and bit one of the other patients, and it's like code green, and all this commotion is happening. Like, I felt like I was in a movie, you guys, let alone how I was already feeling inside myself, like my own issues, my own depression, my own reason why I was crying my eyes out. But on top of that, being in this facility, and like I felt like I don't even know. That's all I can keep saying is I don't even know how to explain it to you. But yeah, that happened, and I spent the night, and I woke up and they brought me a tray of disgusting breakfast, and I spent 2 more days there, and over the course of the 2 days I spoke to like 7 different doctors. Like 7 different doctors evaluated me. It was like one doctor was like a nutritionalist, one doctor was just like to check you physically, one doctor was like a therapist, one doctor was a psychiatrist who was really trying to figure out what was wrong and what medication I needed, and there was another doctor who was like something else. Like, I literally spoke to like 7 different doctors. There was bunch of different nurses and stuff, and they just kept saying, Raven, we need you, Raven, we need you, and pulling me to different rooms and pulling me to different like appointments or whatever. Meanwhile, I'm just like here with the rest of the patients. There's probably like 10 other patients in my little section, and when I'm not talking to the doctor, I'm really just like getting to know these people. And there are some people in there who like, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna talk to you, I'm not gonna mess with you, whatever. But there are some people in there who I kind of could like relate to, who it's not like they were crazy psycho people, but they were dealing with depression, and they had maybe had a suicide attempt, or for whatever reason that they're here. And we were kind of just talking to each other and hearing each other's story, and they were telling me like, oh, have you ever been to such and such hospital? Have you ever gotten taken to such and such hospital? And I'm like, no, this is my first time anywhere ever. And they're like, oh well, good, because you would hate it at this place, and da da da. And they're like sharing their stories and other hospitals they've been to and stuff like that, and I'm just like, I feel so out of place here. I'm just like petrified. And I was kind of just taking it in and listening to the doctors and doing whatever the nurses told me to do, because I realized that I was there for a reason, and I didn't want to just completely shut off. But at the same time, I was really scared, because it really felt like I was in a movie and there was all this commotion going on. Meanwhile, I'm here because I'm already petrified. I'm here because I'm already emotionally disturbed. So being thrown into this facility where it's even more emotionally disturbing was just like an overload of sensation. Like, I can't even explain it to you guys. But you know, I tried to talk to the doctors, but it just, the reason why I only spent 3 days there when I was supposed to spend 7 days, but they were really trying to keep me for like 7 days, was because I couldn't. I was like, this is not helping me. Like, I know I'm here to get help. I know this is a hospital. I know this is like their specialty and stuff like this. But it's just like, I don't trust these doctors. I don't trust this facility. I need to get out of here. But they try to like keep you there, because from their mind, from the doctor's mind, they're like, you're the patient, you don't know what you're talking about. Of course you want to leave, of course you don't want to be here, but you need to be here, you need to stay here, and you're our liability. We can't let you leave until the next 7 days. And I'm like, you can't, like, I was feeling like I was being kept as a prisoner in a psychiatric hospital, because they didn't want to let me leave, because they felt like that was their responsibility to keep me there and help me and get me treatment. And like, they didn't want to let me use the phone to call my parents. It was honestly craziness. Like, I have never, I don't know, but I finally, like, I told them, I was like, I want to leave. Let me call my mom, let me tell her what's happening, let me tell her how I feel, and let her come pick me up, because I cannot stay here another day. So it was really all this back and forth mess, and my mom basically had to like beg the people to let me out, because it wasn't like voluntary. They had to dismiss you. So it was like all this craziness for them finally to dismiss me. And my dad came and picked me up, and I have never been so happy to see my dad in my life. I have never been so ready to leave a place in my life. Like, when they finally like let me through the last door, I was like, I felt like I had just got out of jail. Like, I literally have felt like I just got out of jail. It was terrible. It was the scariest experience of my life. And the fact that I was in there because of my depression, and because I had fallen so low, and that I was actually in a psychiatric hospital on suicide watch, and they wouldn't let me leave, I couldn't. And this is all happening during the week when y'all are asking me, where's the weekly vlog? Why are you not doing weekly vlog? Where are your videos? What are you doing? Where are you? Well, now you know. Now you know where I was. I bet you some of you guys who are leaving very strong comments kind of feel kind of stupid now, don't you? But so yeah, I left there, and like I said, that was like the first days of it. So that was like the first week that I was here in Austin. And then when they finally let me go and let me into the care of my parents, I've just been at my parents' house ever since, and I've just been kind of working with my mom to find other doctors, find other solutions. And I actually ended up seeing a different doctor and actually being prescribed a medication, which one of the whole reasons why I was in that scary psychiatric hospital was because it was like, okay, I really think I need to be on medication. Like, it's gotten to that point now where I really think I need the help of medication. And so I was talking to all those doctors, and I was there because I thought they were gonna like prescribe me a medication. I have never been on medication in my life, period, like for anything. Only medication I've ever taken is like Tylenol or whatever, birth control or whatever, but never ever been on medication in my life, never really looked into it. So now that I was in like such a heated crisis or whatever, I went to that place to try to get on medication, but since it was all that hoopla and I wanted to leave, I never got it. But after that, like a couple weeks ago, I did end up seeing another doctor who was more helpful and who actually did prescribe me an antidepressant. So yes, I have that now. I am on an antidepressant, and I've only been taking it for a little while, so I can't really say if it's helping or whatever. But yeah, there's that, and I feel good about that, and I feel like that's kind of a step in the right direction, and kind of, I don't know, I feel good about it. So hopefully that can kind of help me in a sense. But medication is truly not just a magical cure. You can't just like pop pills all day and be like, okay, I'm not depressed. Like, that's clearly unhealthy. That's clearly not the answer, but it can help, because like I said, depression is a health thing. It is something that's coming from inside of your body. So medication can help balance those chemicals out, balance how you feel and stuff like that, with the help of actually working through your problems, actually going to a therapist, actually, you know, doing stuff outside of just taking your medication. So there's that. And I am also looking into getting a new therapist and trying some new techniques and seeing some different specialists and stuff like that. So that's kind of why I'm still in Austin, because I need my mom's help and expertise and support to help me find these doctors, to help me get this help, and to take me to all my appointments and stuff like that. So I've just been spending time here doing that, trying to get better, trying to feel better, and basically just like being on this little rehab retreat like I described it in the beginning. So yeah, that's about as honest and as real and as specific as I can get at this point. I feel like everything should make sense now to a certain extent, and yeah, but basically I just really, the whole reason why, like I said, it was partially just to explain myself and just to like help y'all understand what's really going on, so that you know that I'm not just abandoning you guys, so that you know that I'm not just being lazy, so that you know that like I actually have a legitimate reason. But also on the other hand, it's not just about explaining myself, it's also about being transparent and being open and shedding light on a very important issue, which is anxiety and depression. And even if it seems like you have a perfect life, even if you have all this stuff going for you, if you have money, if you have this apartment, if you have this YouTube channel, if you have this boyfriend, if you have all this stuff, people still struggle with depression regardless of all that stuff. And I really wanted to make this video to show that like even people like me have depression, even people like me end up in a psychiatric hospital, end up taking medication, end up in this position and need help. And so for any of my viewers who are watching this, I just want you to know that you are not alone. That's like the biggest number one thing. You are not alone. You are not crazy. You are not a problem child. You are not worthless. You are not alone. There are so many other people in this world who are dealing with the same thing, like the same thing that you're dealing with. No matter how bad you think you have it, there are other people who have had it that bad and who have gotten help and who have gotten through it. And it's not pointless. It's not pointless, and you're not crazy. That's really what I wanted people to get out of this, is that it's okay to just say, you know what? Yeah, I'm depressed. I think I have depression. I think I have anxiety, and I think I need some help. And actually go out and tell somebody, and actually go out and seek that help, and get on medication, and see a therapist, and check yourself into a hospital. Whatever you need to do to get that help, to be healthy, to stay on this earth, to stay sane, to help yourself become happy, do it, because you're not crazy and you're not alone, and it's worth it. It's so worth it. If I can do it, if I can go through it, and I can check myself into a hospital, I can get on medication and seek help, and I'm still on my journey. I'm still very much so on my journey to getting to that healthy point. But I just want anyone who's watching this who struggles with depression to just take away from this that you're not crazy, you're not alone, and seek help. Please seek help if you need it. Please seek help. I will try to list some hotlines, some resources, some website links, whatever I can find to give y'all information. I will try to link those down below. But it really starts with just telling someone, speaking out to someone. Tell your mom, tell your best friend, tell your boyfriend how you really are feeling. Tell them that you're concerned. Tell them that you've had suicidal thoughts. Tell them whatever it is. Open up about it and be honest, and get the help that you need, because it is so important. I don't want anyone on this earth to feel like they're crazy, they're worthless, it's never going to get better, it's pointless, and to end up committing suicide or something like that. It's not worth it. It's not true. It's just not true. And so I wanted to use my platform to just say that, to just show that there's tons of people out there who look up to me, who think that I'm just perfect and think all this stuff about me. But no, in real life, I struggle with depression, and I had to go to the hospital. And I'm to the point now where I realize that it's important. My life is important. My life is important. My health is important. I deserve to get the help that I need. I deserve to be able to talk to somebody about it. I deserve to be able to see a doctor, whatever. And I know it's like I've gone through phases, and I know other people who can probably relate, where it's like you just feel like you're not worth it. Like, why should anybody care about me? Why should anybody help me? Why should I bug my mom about this? Why should I? It's not worth it, whatever. I'm just gonna shut myself off and just soak in it. And it's so dangerous to do that, and I just don't want anyone to do that. So I really wanted to make this video to give you that spark of motivation, to give you that feeling in your heart that you're not alone, and you are worth something. You are worth the effort. Basically, you are worth the effort to go and get help if you are struggling with anxiety, depression, all those things, because it's so much more common than you think, and there is help out there. There is help, and it sometimes can be hard to find the right help or get the right help, but it's worth a try. It's definitely worth a try. Your life is important. Your health is important. Your happiness is important. So even I had to take a whole break from YouTube, and I was so, like, you guys, I was so upset, because the month of like August going into September, this little chunk of time right now was supposed to be an amazing chunk of time for me. It was supposed to be like the highlight of my year. So many amazing things were supposed to be happening for me, and I felt like it went all down the toilet. I felt like I disappointed myself, and I was so that was just part of the reason why I was just so down on myself, because I was like, this is supposed to be the time when I move into my apartment. I'm supposed to be doing an apartment tour right now. I'm supposed to be going to all these events in downtown Dallas. I'm supposed to be making all these connections and doing this, and I'm supposed to be traveling here and doing that and doing this, and these sponsorships and all this stuff that I had planned for this month and this upcoming month or whatever. It was just supposed to be like the best time of my life, and it turned out to be the worst time of my life, and I was not prepared for that, and I was so down on myself about that, and I just felt like I was disappointing so many people. I was disappointing myself, and I was disappointing you guys, and I was disappointing the brands that I was supposed to be working with, and all this stuff. I just feel like a huge disappointment, and it was just heartbreaking. It was so heartbreaking, but I had to realize that too bad. I have to step away. I have to leave my apartment. I have to put my videos on hold. I have to put these trips and these events on hold, because my life, my happiness, and my health is more important. I am more important, and I have to know that I am worthy and I am worth it to take this time off and get the help that I need, and you guys are too, and that's what I wanted you guys to get out of this So hopefully it does some good. Hopefully my message and my purpose works and it gets out there. That's really what I wanted out of this. Like I've kind of been saying, I'm hoping to get back to my regular schedule and back to my regular, you know, grind or whatever, like next month. Like in October is when I'm kind of planning for things to get more back to normal. Then again, I don't want to rush it or anything like that. But yeah, this is not going to be the end of me. It's not going to be the end of my world. It's not going to be the end of my brand. It's not going to ruin everything. So I have plans to push through, to follow through, to make up for it. So please stay tuned. Please continue to support me. You guys have been doing a really amazing job at supporting me and sending me kind messages and saying that you're praying for me and saying that you're thinking of me and hoping everything is okay and blah blah blah. And I've kind of just been saying this whole time like, oh, it's a family emergency, I'm just going through a family emergency. So you guys have been saying like, oh, I hope you're, you know, praying for your family. And technically it wasn't really a family emergency. That's kind of just what I was saying because I didn't feel like obviously explaining what was really happening. But I was just kind of saying it was a thing. Actually, we did have a death in the family also during this whole thing. There was a death in the family, so that's another thing. So technically kind of it was a family emergency also mixed in. Whatever, it was just a lot. But the support and stuff that you guys were sending to me really does mean a lot. I really do appreciate it. And the reason why I'm able to the reason why I'm able to sit here right now and film this video and smile a little bit and not cry through this video is because I do feel a sense of peace knowing that I have this audience, knowing that most of the people who watch this video really care about me, knowing that the comments on this video are probably going to be mostly really supportive and stuff like that. So I get a real sense of peace from that, and that really helps me out so much. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video.